Hello, dear teacher and classmates. My name is Genesis Ariana Muñoz Intriago, and this is my ID card. Okay, here. My picture and my full name. I hope you can see it. Okay. So today I'm here to explain to you the structure of a journal article by using a journal article as an example. Okay. So I'm going to be highlighting all the information that I'm going to describe to you. Okay. So let's start with the preliminary section. In the preliminary section, we can find two aspects. Firstly, the title of the journal article. In this case, the title is Using the Temporal Motivation Theory to Explain the Relation Between ADHD and Procrastination. And the second aspect is the authorship. In this case, we have two authors, Ruth Netzer Tugerman and Yehuda Poyat. Okay? After that, we find the abstract. The abstract is basically a summary of all the information given in the research. Okay? Here we can find main important information, objective, the method, the results, and the conclusions. Okay? So here we can find the main important information, such as some definitions and some background that readers must have in order to understand the research. Okay? After that, we can find the objective of this research. In this case, the objective is to establish the correlation between procrastination and ADHD and examine whether these motivation factors explain this correlation. After that, we can find the method, okay? In the method, we have three important aspects: the participants, the materials, and the procedure. So here we can find the first aspect, which is the participants. So here they are telling to you that they use 202 adult participants, okay? After that, the second part is the materials. And here we can find the materials. Here they are telling us that they use an online survey to obtain all the information, okay? And finally, the procedure. So they are basically explaining in this part that they use an online survey that contains demographic background and scales of adults' ADHD symptoms and, well, all the information that you're watching on your screen right now. And after that, we can find the results. Okay, in this case, the results of this journal article is that ADHD symptoms significantly and positively correlated with procrastination. It means that the objective, the main objective of this research was achieved, was accomplished, okay? And finally, we have the conclusion part. Okay, the conclusion. In this case, the conclusion of this article is that these findings helps to establish the strong relationship between ADHD and procrastination, okay, while demonstrating that the relationship is partially explained by a low expectancy of completing a task successfully, okay? After that, we have some other important information such as keywords and background information, okay? We are going to explain the second part, what this topic adds later. So let's move on the introduction. The introduction contains the definition of the problem, the objective, the theoretical support, the design of the research, and the implications of the study, okay? So regarding the definition of the problem, we can find the definition of the problem in this part. So here they are basically explaining the definition of ADHD. They are explaining what is the problem and why it should be considered as a problem and what is the importance of that problem, okay? And here we can find, again, the objective of this article. In this case, the objective is to examine the relationship between procrastination and ADHD and suggest an explanation for this relationship based on the temporal motivation theory, okay? So here they are telling us what are the methods that they are going to use, okay? In this case, they are telling us that they are going to use the temporal motivation theory, okay? So let's move on the theoretical support. The theoretical support is basically like a research about other authors' information regarding this topic, okay? What did they say? What were the results that they gathered and all of that? So here in this part, from here until here, you can find the theoretical support. And after that, we have the design of the research. in this part, the author basically explained what are the methods that they are going to apply to gather the information, okay? So here, as you can see, they are telling us that they are going to use the temporal motivation theory to obtain the information, and here they are showing us a formula, okay? And after that, we can find the implications of this study. But if you want a really short summary of this part of the implications of the study, you can read this part, what this topic adds. And here you can find 3 important aspects that this topic will add, okay? A new information, let's say, regarding this topic. After that, we have the methods, okay? The method section, which is the third part of the structure of a journal article, okay? Methods. In this part, let's remember that we must look for 3 important aspects: participants, materials, and procedure, okay? So regarding the participants, here we can find the participants that they use, okay? Here they are telling us in this specific part that they use 202 students from Hebrew University, okay? And regarding the materials, in this part, we can find the materials that they use. In this case, they are explaining us that they use a Monte Carlo simulation-based tool for calculating the power impact analysis developed by Scotchman 2017, okay? Those are the materials that they use. In this part, they explain to you some measures, and they explain to you, they describe a little bit more about those materials. And here we have the third aspect, which is the procedure. So here they explain to you like how much time they took by doing all the procedure, okay, while doing all the activities that they have to do to gather that information. And here they describe a little bit more about that. And then we find the results. In the results, in this part, the author usually use graphics, tables, charts in order to show the information that they gather, okay? For example, here we have a table, second table, the third table, and all of that. They use tables to show the information given, okay? So from this part until here, okay? Until here, we can find the results. And after that, we have the discussion part, okay? In the discussion part, the author usually describe the charts that they included in their journal articles to contrast information with other authors, okay? In this part, it's basically a kind of analysis in which they must contrast information, okay? So we can find the discussion from this part. And in this part, as you can see, we have another figure. See, okay, in this part until here. And in this part, we have almost the last part, which is the conclusion part, okay? Let's remember that the conclusion part contains some important topics, such as the limitations and the recommendations, okay? From here, we have the conclusion, and then we have the other important aspects, which are the limitations and the recommendations. Okay, here we can find the limitations. Okay, we have the limitations. And in this part, we can find the recommendations in this part. In this case, the recommendations of this journal article is to focus on helping clients to give more weight to the desired outcomes of the task, okay? And finally, we have this paragraph, which kind of a paragraph that tries to summarize all the information, okay? All the information that we just checked. And the last part of this journal article is the reference part, okay? In this part, they basically included all the sources that they use while doing the journal article. And that is all. Thank you very much.